here.
No, I have to introduce. I'm doing you.
Well, let me start here.
No.
I am here. I'm here at the Textile show, and although I've done many interviews, we are now going to meet the most esteemed guest ever. We are going to meet Frank himself.
Frank himself. Now, so we're here at the Textile show, and we're talking to what's your name, young man?
My name is Frank.
Frank, and where are you from, Frank?
I'm from Hollywood, California.
Hollywood, California. That's interesting. Have you lived your whole life in Hollywood, California?
Well, I moved there when I was 29, and then I left when I was 22.
And you left when you were 22.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Well, I moved there when I was 29 days old.
29 days old.
Yeah, 29 days old.
I see.
And I left at 22 years old. And I went to Laverne, California, and I've lived there ever since.
I see. And you've lived in Laverne, California ever since. Excellent. Now, I understand through the grapevine, Frank, that you actually do something quite amazing. What would that be?
The list is just so incredibly long.
Well, if you had to shorten it down to one or two really amazing things, what would that be?
Well, I would say the main thing is that for several years now I've been publishing Collector Magazine, which is like it's like the National Enquirer of the antique business, except a lot more scandalous and a lot less truth.
I see. For several years you've been publishing?
30 years.
30 years. You've been publishing. Oh my God. 30 years.
30 years.
That's amazing. So if you were to take every issue that you published, every issue, and you were to stack them one on top of the other, how tall a stack?
You would need several Empire State Buildings in order to do that.
Empire State Buildings.
Yes, and you'd have to also get the Titanic and the
upended.
Yes, upended, and then take the Graf Zeppelin and put that on there and top it with the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty.
I see.
And think of that torch being up there as far as the eye can see.
So I'm getting that in your publishing work there's a tremendous amount of truth and authenticity.
We don't take insults like that, frankly. There has never been a verified fact in Collector Magazine.
I see. So, and just by perusing the journal, Collector Magazine, on a monthly basis.
Yes.
I would estimate that you have a staff of maybe 60 or 75 people working for you. Is that correct?
Well, you are talking to most of the staff right now.
You're all 60 people?
Mostly.
Oh my God.
I have several personalities. And 60 is a little low.
It's a little low.
Yes.
Okay. 60. So if you were to be really pressed to it,
yes.
What figure of personalities would you say you'd arrive at? 60's too low. 75?
Yeah, several thousand. I would say.
So you are the man with several thousand personalities.
Yes, that's
producing
right.
a monthly journal.
Yes.
And what is the cost of this monthly journal?
Well, it costs me my sanity, all the energy that I have.
That's amazing. But
I live in fear of every time I answer my phone. God knows what it might be someone I've written about. Every time at a show, when people come up to me and say, "Are you Frank?" I'm always looking for a small gun in their pocket.
Down between the tables on this side, right down.
So it's been a very expensive thing.
So if somebody wanted to purchase the Collector Magazine, what would it take to buy this magazine from your dead hands?
It would be $1 million for me to sell the magazine.
And that's your absolute best price.
I'm willing to go a nickel off, but that would be about it.
$999,990.
And then I expect a nickel kickback. Is what could I do once I gave up publishing the magazine? What could I do after that? Well, pretty much nothing.
Clearly, for all of the years, the many decades that you published the Collector Magazine, you must have several collections of your own.
No, I do not collect anything now, nor have ever collected anything.
Not even dust? You don't collect dust?
I don't have really any furniture in my house, so there's not really any place to put the dust. No, I am extremely non-materialistic.
Oh, well, that's very interesting and somewhat unbelievable.
Own practically nothing. I own a MacBook Air. I own this camera, and that's about it. and my iPhone.
Well, you're a truly frugal individual.
It's not necessary. I am frugal, but that's not the thing. If I had $1 billion, I would still own practically nothing.
I think you're telling us something that's reading between the lines. You own practically nothing. If you had $1 billion, it would still be the same. So we really can't tell the financial status of Frank.
It would be impossible.
It would be. You can't even tell the financial status of Frank most of the time.
Well, I look at my bank account. It's pretty obvious there.
It's a frightening situation.
Yeah.
I see. Well, if a collector himself wanted to obtain one of your magazines, what would it take to pry one of those magazines from your cold dead hands?
Well, they are free at antique shows.
Free.
Let's put it in perspective here. If you pick it up at an antique show or a shop or somewhere there, then it's free. If I send it to you, it's $48 a year.
I see. So if I pick it up at a show or a shop, it's free. But if you send it to me, it's $48.
Yes. If you put the effort out, it's free. If I put the effort out, it's $48 a year.
I see. So your effort is more expensive than mine.
A lot more expensive.
Clearly. I see. Well, that's excellent. If you had 1 or 2 or maybe 10 words of